You ever get that feeling that there's more to you than what everyone sees? Like there's this incredible music inside just waiting to be played? Well, today we're going to dive into a framework to help you do just that, to unlock all that amazing potential.
You know, potential is one of those words, it's just so full of hope, right? It's all about what could be. It points to this greatness that every single one of us has inside. And that should get you excited, because it's not some fluffy concept, it's a real promise of who you can become.
But of course, there's a flip side, and it's kind of heartbreaking. Unfulfilled potential. That phrase just drips with regret. You've probably heard the saying, dying with the music still inside of you. Man, what a tragic thought. But it really lights a fire under us, doesn't it? It shows why we need to be intentional about our growth. So what's stopping us?
All right, section 1. Let's talk about the first big roadblock, the massive gap between deciding to do something and actually doing it.
Okay, to really get this, let me hit you with a quick riddle. Ready? 5 frogs are sitting on a log. 4 of them decide to jump off. So, how many are left on the log? Think about it for a sec. The answer? There are still 5. Yep, all 5 of them are still sitting there. So, why?
Because there's a huge difference between deciding and doing. See? Those 4 frogs only thought about jumping. They never actually did it. It's so easy to trick ourselves into thinking a decision is progress. But if there's no action, it's just an idea floating around. That's the first gap we've got to close.
Okay, so we know we need to act, but just acting isn't enough. To make those actions count, to be really effective, you have to start with yourself. You've got to know who you are. This is where real growth gets its start, self-awareness.
And to see just how critical this is, let me tell you about a man named Henry M. It's a pretty famous case. Back in the 50s, he had an experimental brain surgery for his epilepsy. The surgery worked, but it had this absolutely devastating side effect. He completely lost the ability to form new short-term memories.
Just try to wrap your head around that for a second. Every single day was like hitting a reset button. He'd do the same jigsaw puzzle or read the same magazine, and it was brand new to him every time. He was literally living in the moment, completely cut off from what he did even minutes before.
And here's the powerful, powerful lesson from his story. Without that memory, without the ability to look back and reflect, Henry M. was stuck. He couldn't learn. He couldn't grow. It's a tragic but perfect example of why self-awareness, knowing where you've been, what you've learned, is the absolute bedrock of any kind of personal change.
You know, the famous psychologist Carl Jung said it best. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. It's so true. All the clarity, all the real direction you need for growth, it doesn't come from out there. It comes from looking inward.
So, once we've done that internal work, it's time to look at what's around us, our environment. And I mean, especially the people we surround ourselves with, plays a huge, huge role in whether we grow or stay stuck.
I love this idea called the hot poker principle. It's super simple. You want to get a poker hot, what do? You stick it in the fire. It's the same exact thing for us. If you want to grow, you've got to put yourself in a hot environment. That means surrounding yourself with great people, great places, great books, great everything.
A legendary UCLA softball coach, Sue Enquist, actually came up with an amazing way to think about this. She calls it the 33% rule. And the idea is that pretty much everyone you know falls into one of 3 categories. Okay, so you've got the bottom third. These are the people who just suck the life out of you. You know who I'm talking about. Then there's the middle third. They're fine, they're positive, as long as everything's going great. But when things get tough, not so much. And then you have the top third. These are your leaders, your influencers, your game changers. They lift you up no matter what. So the big question is, where are you spending your time? The whole point is to intentionally spend more time with that top third.
It all comes back to that classic Jim Rohn quote, right? You become the combined average of the 5 people you hang around the most. It's so true. Their habits, their mindset, their goals, it all seeps in. It really makes you think, doesn't it? Choose that circle wisely.
Okay, let's recap. We've decided to stop just deciding and start doing. We've looked inward to know ourselves. We've shaped our environment, so what's next? Well, now we build the engine that drives it all, our daily system.
This is where we get into something called the compound effect, and this idea is a total game changer. It's the principle that huge rewards don't come from some giant heroic effort. Nope, they come from a series of small, smart choices that you make consistently, over and over again. And the path to these amazing results is almost ridiculously simple. It starts with tiny choices, things that seem like they don't even matter, but then you do them again and again, day after day. And over time, that consistency creates this momentum that leads to massive, radical change.
So what does that really mean for you? It means the secret to your success isn't in some distant future goal. It's hidden in what you do today. You want to change your life? You have to change something you do daily. It's that simple and that powerful.
All right, let's pull all these threads together now. We've got the mindset, we've got the daily system. It's time to use all of this to close that potential gap and really stretch beyond what we think we're capable of.
And there's a perfect metaphor for this. I absolutely love it. It's called the law of the rubber band. Think about it. A rubber band sitting on a desk is, well, it's useless, right? It only becomes useful when you stretch it. And guess what? We're exactly the same. Life, growth, it all begins right at the edge of our comfort zone.
See, real growth happens in that space, that tension between where you are right now and where you could be. It's a creative tension. The moment you let that tension go, the moment you get comfortable, that's when growth stops dead in its tracks.
The writer George Eliot put it so perfectly. It's never too late to be what you might have been. That's so powerful. That untapped music we talked about, it's still in there. It's just waiting for you to play it. So I'll leave you with this one question. What are you going to do now?